I'm Mark Matsumoto, and today I want to show you how to make a stamina-boosting pork belly rice bowl, which is popularized by a restaurant called Sutadon. So stick around! In Japan, long commutes to school or work, and even longer hours in crowded offices, makes it super important to keep your energy up. This is probably why donburi or rice bowls are such a popular option for lunch. Sutadon or Stamina Donburi is a style of Butadon that was popularized by a chain called Densetsu no Sutadon-ya, which literally means the legendary Sutadon shop. Unlike the Tokachi-style Butadon I've done in the past, Sutadon is made with paper-thin slices of pork belly, which are boiled before being glazed in a savory garlicky sauce. The original version is topped with a raw egg, but since this isn't an option in most places, I've topped mine with a custardy hot spring egg, which mellows out the pungent garlic while carrying the flavors of the pork down into the rice. Sounds good, right? Let's take a look at our ingredients. For the meat, I've got 325 grams of thinly sliced pork belly that's sliced for hot pot. For the sauce, I'm using a 1/4 cup dashi, 1.5 tablespoons of soy sauce, 1 tablespoon of sake, 1 teaspoon of sugar, a regular scallion, 4 grams of ginger, and 20 grams of garlic. To serve our sutadon, I've got some thin scallions, chili paste, takuan pickles, and 2 hot spring eggs. I showed you how to make these in last week's video, but I'll include a link in the description in case you missed it. For the scallion going into the pork, I'm going to trim off the root end and cut it into thin slices at a 20-degree angle. This scallion was kinda huge, so I'm not going to use all of the greens. For the garnish, I'm using these very thin scallions called banno negi, but you can also use regular scallion greens or chives and chop them up into small rings like this. For the sauce, I'm going to start by grating the garlic into a bowl. How much garlic you add is up to you, and I'm using a moderate amount today, but if you're really trying to ward off those vampires, feel free to use even more. Then I'm going to grate in some ginger. This isn't shogayaki, so you don't need a ton. Now I'm going to add the dashi, soy sauce, sake, and sugar, and then I'm gonna stir it all together. By the way, this is a fantastic marinade for any protein, so even if you're not into pork, you can still use this sauce. For the pork belly, I've got a pot of boiling water here, and I'm gonna boil the pork in batches. This does 2 things. The first is that it removes impurities from the pork that can make it smell gamey. The second thing is that this will render out a bit of the fat from the pork belly so your rice bowl doesn't end up greasy. Once the water comes back to a boil, transfer the pork to a bowl of cold water to stop any carryover cooking that can make the meat dry. Then I'm just going to repeat this with the remaining pork. Once all of your pork belly has been boiled and chilled, drain it in a colander. Give it a shake and then press out any excess water. Now we're ready to season the pork, so pour the sauce into the frying pan and bring it up to a full boil. Add the sliced scallions to the boiling sauce, and then you want to cook these until they start to go limp. Then I'm gonna add our pork belly and glaze it with the sauce until there's almost no liquid remaining in the pan. This will take about 2 to 3 minutes. In Japan, both garlic and pork are considered stamina boosting foods thanks to their high concentration of B vitamins, and I can tell you right now that the smell of this combo is really perking up my appetite. Okay, you can see we've got almost no liquid left in the pan, so our pork is done. Before we put our Stamina Butadon together, I want to take a moment to thank everyone for supporting my work here. Whether you've signed up for my secret stash of family recipes, or you're just sharing my videos with friends and family, these are just a few of the many ways that you can help me out. So if you've enjoyed this video and you want to pitch in, hit the link in the description down below to see what you can do. To assemble our donburi, I've got a bowl of hot Japanese short grain rice, and I'm gonna top this with an even layer of that garlicky pork belly. You need enough pork to go with all of that rice underneath, so don't be shy here. Sprinkle on some chopped scallions for a pop of color. And then I'm gonna carefully break our hot spring egg into the center of the bowl. Although it's fully cooked, the low temperature it was cooked at gives it a custardy texture like chawanmushi. Now I'm gonna add some crunchy takuan pickles at the back of the bowl. Scoop a dollop of chili paste next to it, and our sutadon is done! If you like garlic, I think you'd be swooning right now. This smells amazing. Alright, let's try it out. Itadakimasu! Alright, I'm gonna get some of this hot spring egg and mix it around with the pork. Get some of the pork, some of the rice. Alright, here we go. Yeah, that's so good. Because that pork was sliced so thinly, it's super tender and it's soaked up all the flavors from the sauce. You've got that pungent garlic that adds a nice kick, and the savory dashi adds tons of umami. And that hot spring egg on top mellows everything out and brings all the flavors together. All right, I'm gonna go in for another bite with a little of the chili sauce. Oh man, that totally takes it up another notch. That spicy chili sauce goes so well with that pungent garlic. I was a little skeptical at first when I heard this Butadon could give you a burst of energy, but I'm definitely sold. Oh yeah, ready to conquer the day. Well, now that I'm energized, I think I need to go burn off some of these calories. So check out this playlist for some of my other favorite rice bowl recipes. And I'll catch you in the next one.